And we're live. Bring Out Your Geek is live.
Lucky, lucky you.
We are doing a Talkin' Walkin' Comics episode, which we haven't done in a while.
It has been some time.
Like a month, maybe. I want to say. Almost. Right?
I think easily, yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a hard time keeping track of time. So.
Okay.
But I'll go with a month. That feels about right.
All right. Yeah, we gotta get back on the bandwagon, man. We are gonna discuss 48.
Especially eventful issue, indeed.
It is. It's got a lot happening. Not a whole lot. Well, yeah, it's a lot. It's big.
There's a lot.
Big stuff.
So who are you? Possibly introducing yourself to the audience and giving them your Twitter handle anyway?
I'm Jeans, and that's my Twitter handle over here. There we go, right there. Young Jeans, YEUNG, and I'm the host of this ridiculous show.
There you go. And the whole reason I asked is so I could do this.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. It's Kelly Toole at KELLYTHUL. I'm well lit and naturally blonde. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Both of those things are true.
There you go.
And we're not going to explain that. Unless you really want to. All right. So the cover for 48 is a bit dark. Of course, they're all dark. But it's got Rick and a shovel and some graves. Looks like.
And red covers are never happy covers.
No.
Like, woo, you know. So yeah, it's another stark cover. He doesn't look happy.
No. He looks like he's burying people one-armed.
So, not to get judgy, but if shovel work needs to be done, I wouldn't put Rick on the short list because
no, I wouldn't either.
I don't know what the technique is for one-arm shoveling at all.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it can't be done, but a guy who's been without his hand for probably what would be considered maybe a month, I'm guessing probably isn't going to be that skilled. Probably.
I wouldn't think so.
I'm sure there's some one-armed guys out there that can shovel away. I'm just thinking maybe he's a little fresh.
Yeah, I think that's a thing that would take some practice to get good at.
Yeah.
It's enough work for me with two hands. I don't know how
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially digging graves too, because that's not small. I mean, that you're digging. If you're digging a proper grave, that's 6 feet under.
Yeah, and that's something you don't want to cheat on.
No, not really. Not in a world where people are getting eaten by zombies and no.
Planting a hosta, cheat. If you haven't gone deep enough, it's all right. You're burying someone. Stick with the plan.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's some hard work. Okay, so when we left, Lori was she had a gun pointed to her head.
Yay! Hooray!
Kelly's like, whoopee!
But sadly,
we learned that it's just Alice, and that they're play acting just in case somebody had gotten in the prison from the governor's side of the battle.
Which is pretty smart.
Yeah.
It was good thinking on their part. Obviously, Alice came up with that plan, not Lori. But then we get some more of Lori's super cry eyes, these kind of huge pools of water around the eye.
Yeah, so Carl crawls out from under the bed, and Rick basically says, all right, we're leaving.
Yep, group hug, and Alice looks at. There's a nice panel where it's the Grimes family all hugging, and Alice off to the side, just not part of it. Nothing worse than not being part of a group hug, especially when your numbers are dwindling.
Whenever you're done, we can go. Okay, yeah.
Hey, murderers!
I don't have a family. Okay. Yeah. So, meanwhile, outside, Rick is taking Alice and the fam and trying to get them out of doors. And meanwhile, outside, the governor's basically screaming, "Kill them all! Kill them all!"
Yep. But just the one thing I want to mention before we got out there is there's the process of Rick explaining to Lori the plan, and Lori being very judgy on the plan, and Rick finishing up with, "Trust me, this will work." We should probably remember that. This will work. He doesn't say trust me, he just says this will work. So
yeah,
make a note of that, because there's some non-working coming up.
There is in a big way too.
But then there's some patak-pating as the governor is.
I noticed that. I know he does love those weird sort of not Batman sound effects. I've noticed.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the fact that that they've run out of people that we're familiar with on the governor's side, so he just grabs like some random bald guy.
Yeah, and you do this. You, farm guy in baseball cap. You, bald guy. You know, it was...
Yeah, so he wants some of his people to go inside the prison and kill everybody they find. That's his plan.
Yep.
If you can call that a plan. Sounds like an afterthought. But since it's just you, find some people, go and kill. That just sounds like an afterthought to me. That doesn't sound like a plan.
Yeah. And you're starting to get at least a little bit of a sense from a few of the Woodbury militia that they're kind of like, okay.
Well, yeah. So yeah, because that comes up pretty quickly. I laughed at that. It's so bad. Herschel and his little group are trying to get out as well. And who's the first one to go?
The second half of Gene's favorite couple, in which was again Paxil, as you all recall.
Yeah.
We lost Axel previous episode, and Patricia's fairly large head with the.
I forgot about Paxil. I'm sorry. Patricia and Paxil.
And so the second half of Paxil is the first to go with a center of the back of the head shot thing. Yeah. And she's gone.
And in fairly short order, who else goes?
Then Billy.
Billy.
And Billy. And there was, it looked like he got hit about 2 panels before he dropped in terms of the comic, but it's like,
yeah,
I think that's where he got shot. But yeah, so Billy's gone, Patricia's gone. Herschel's kind of bummed.
Yeah. At that point, that's one of the governor's guys, the farmer guy in the baseball cap, is like, "Oh no, I killed that boy." He's referring to Billy, and the governor says, "Well, how many of ours did he kill?" And he's like, "Yeah, good point. Okay."
All right.
he's like, "All right, whatever." I killed that boy. All right. Just on and off. They're all crazy over on his side. I swear to God. All right. Yeah. So then Herschel tells Rick, "You know what? I'm going to stay here. You go on without me."
Yeah, as they're yelling across the courtyard, just in case the governor didn't have a good idea of new targets.
I know,
oh, well, look what's coming out here.
So, yeah.
They make a break.
What?
They said they make a break for it. They're making a break for the truck. The plan that will work. They're making a break for the truck, and Alice is providing coverage fire while they make their run to the truck.
Right.
And then who goes, Jeans?
Do I get the honor of saying this?
You get the honors of, well, you have several people to catch up with.
Oh, I do.
Well, because we got Alice first.
Alice first.
So she gets shot in the knee, and then Governor takes her out. Right. But then, what happens?
So only one of these two is a happy one to go.
That's true.
The sound effect for this one, by the way, choom. CHOOM, choom. Is Lori and Judith.
With so I thought she was shot with a pistol or a rifle, and I was
Right.
going to take issue because the Choom takes out, I mean, most of Laurie's midsection.
Right.
I mean, I was kind of like, well, that couldn't happen with the rifle. We'll find out shortly it wasn't a rifle. But, yeah, so Laurie's hit now and falls. And I believe you had put a marker out to say you wanted to have some commentary around this whole situation of Laurie and falling and something, if I recall.
Well, I think initially I thought she had squished the baby. But actually it looks like they took out a little bit of the baby with the Choom.
It's a little rough to talk about, but yeah, it does. It looked to me and thank you, I guess, for not being too graphic in terms of the drawing to let us know. But it does appear that the baby's swaddled, and part of that bottom part where the baby's at is part of the Choom.
It's unclear, but then when you do get to see Laurie laying down, there's a little arm sticking out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Farewell, Judith.
Farewell, Judith. Farewell, Laurie.
Oh, farewell, Laurie.
Rick and Carl, let's keep running.
Yes, run for it. And then the government. God, what is my? You know what? I am. It's been a very long day. Governor catches up with Herschel. That's what I wanted to say.
It was easy to catch up with because he's just sitting there kneeling on the ground.
True.
And the governor's like, "Hey, live guy over here. What's up with that?"
Yeah. So he goes ahead and kills Herschel, and then one of the governor's people comes along and reads him the riot act. You know, you made me shoot a baby. That's horrible.
Yes,
and and so she actually puts her gun in the governor's mouth. She's ready to take him out because, oh my God, what a monster you are. You made me shoot a baby. Adults are fine. It's just the baby. Innocent women are okay.
I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. And then he's saved by the zombie dinner bell.
That's right.
Damn it, Janet. Yeah.
Because the knuckleheads had taken the tank and knocked down. So basically they've opened up the prison for a buffet.
Yeah.
And sure enough, and I don't know, maybe lots of chooms and patangs and whatever might draw a few zombies.
They like the noise. We know that.
Yeah. And so he does use this moment of the zombies, the rush hour for zombies coming in to kind of.
There's a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah. I don't know if there was a little mob someplace in particular or if just the noise drew them that quickly, but there was a lot.
Yeah, and he kind of takes the gun out of his mouth, kind of knocks Lily back a little bit with the butt of the thing and gets up and is now trying, it's okay, we've got this, we just need to do this and that, and everything will be fine. Providing a lot of instructions, not paying attention to the woman that just had a gun in his mouth.
Right.
Which turns out to be a tactical error. Because mid-instruction, what happens?
I'll let you go ahead with that.
Yeah.
Although I have to say the tactical error is not necessarily putting a gun in his mouth. It was not pulling the trigger. But that was the tactical error.
Well, no, I agree with her absolutely. No, the governor's tactical error is okay. If 30 seconds ago there was a person that had a gun in my mouth.
Yeah.
When I pop back up to begin to provide zombie management instructions, I'm going to probably keep track of where that person is because I don't think they're happy with me right now. And I wouldn't turn my back on them because what happens if you turn your back on them is they pull out a revolver and blow your head off, which is what Lily did to the governor. And we get to, and I believe this is the only character in the entire Walking Dead series that we've had the opportunity to see both eyeballs leave his skull. We had Michonne took care of one for us. We got to see that. And in this scene here, the other, his one good eye, is part of the plume of what's happening in this shot.
Yeah.
And then she kicks him into the zombie herd, saying that'll slow him down, which was kind of true. And they're
Sounds like
firing.
she had a plan.
Yeah, her plan's a little better,
Yeah.
But her plan has some holes in it as well because they're trying to make their way back into the prison. They're firing. Everybody's talking about being low on ammo. And our patangs and chooms eventually turn into click, click, click.
Yeah.
So apparently, it kind of ends at that part with them fleeing into the prison, lots of zombies in the yard, and no ammo.
Yeah. And Carl and Rick kind of scrambling their way up the hill away from the prison. And Carl wants to know what happened to Mom and the baby. And he's like, well, they didn't make it. So they stopped for a hug while the zombies are coming up the hill after them.
Yeah, and so from the, this was interesting to compare the television show to the comic because, the whole prison wind up and wrap up and all the different issues. Laurie does die in the prison, but she dies earlier and not
during giving birth, actually.
And so she's in the television show gone. Judith is still a going concern in the television show.
Correct.
Going concern is the right terminology to use. She's a baby. She's going to be noisy.
Yeah.
But Herschel, while killed by the governor in both the television show and the comic, different ways.
Correct.
So that was interesting. But the Rick and Carl leaving the prison, I thought very reminiscent visually to the panels. And it's kind of interesting because Carl's older than cartoon Carl.
Yeah.
But it seemed very reminiscent, and it was just pretty much don't look back and all that. So
yeah,
it was a tough moment in it in terms of obviously a big change because now the prison's lost, everybody's scattered. Rick and Carl are together.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah, and it was like that in the show as well. Everybody just sort of went their own direction, and then nobody knew where anybody was. And I mean, it's only through the miracle of television that everybody found everybody else.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that was a convenience. I think a little bit.
A little bit.
So I would say it's hard to tell. There's probably 20, 25 Woodbury militia people left at the end of this.
I would have thought less, but not by a whole lot. But yeah, I was gonna say 15, 20, something like that. Yeah,
maybe. Okay, in that range, and it looks like most of them are rushing into the prison with guests. The zombies are following them.
Right.
No ammo. It's never addressed in the comic. Do you assume that they just got cleaned out? Or do you think that...
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. His group of people, aside from a small handful of his guys, really didn't handle zombies. They were sort of, protected from all of that. So, and during the first battle, I mean, I think we mentioned that they're like stormtroopers. I mean, they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. So that's a very interesting question. I don't know. Yeah, more than likely. If not right away, it certainly wouldn't take very long.
Yeah, because I think you're kind of out of luck at that point because if you get in there and you can probably manage to find a cell door or a gate or something to kind of impede the zombies from following you further, so you could probably protect yourself in there somewhat.
Yeah.
But now what? Because there's really now no exit, and it's just a matter of time. So yeah, I don't think there are a lot of useful people. I think the Lily, lady that shot the governor, seems to have it going on a little bit, but I don't know if she's got a lot of assistance.
No, I think you're right. I mean, he did blow a hole in the prison with the tank, which was sort of short-sighted if the governor really wanted to live there.
It's a problem. It's a problem.
But yeah, I mean, they'd have to fix the fences, and I mean, they'd have to get rid of everything milling around. I mean, and there was a lot. It was not a small amount. It was a fairly large mob that had come in to feast.
Yep.
So
we say goodbye to the prison in the comics and go on to the next.
Yes. Yay! Yeah, I mean, I think the huge difference being that a TV audience would not do well with a dead baby. I think the comic audience is, I think we're used to some darker things. There's a handful of things that are extremely dark that happen that they did not even touch on in the television show, and I think it's just a different audience, and I don't think that Judith dying would have gone well. People got upset when they saw the bloody car seat and stuff. So I think that's why she's still around in the TV show.
Yeah, it's a problem because if from the storytelling arc there is a situation, and I'm certainly not unlike our good friend Mike Official Pagan, who is apparently rooting for he's not a big Judith fan. If she does get killed, it's obviously something from a television point of view you can't and wouldn't want to do on camera.
Right.
But there's no good answer there, because that's maybe they'll just forget about her. Just pretend she
or like in a soap opera, she'll show up as like a 7-year-old at some point and just skip that entire arc of her childhood.
Yeah. And just not acknowledge that now Judith is 8 years older than she was in the last episode.
Yeah.
That's probably, I don't know. They're in a tough spot there.
Yeah. But I mean, essentially they're hauling around a car alarm. I mean, that's really,
there's very little value baby provides in zombie apocalypse.
No, I mean, and I think we saw with that one episode where he was mashing up acorns with the butt of his gun to feed the baby.
Yeah.
It's not just even the noise factor. It's just that you got to keep that kid fed too. She's not gonna and I mean, actually that is part of the noise factor, because if she's not fed, she's gonna scream.
Right.
Because that's what babies do. So.
Yeah, and it's hard to set up a bouncy seat anywhere.
Right.
Do that. So.
Yeah.
It's a mess, but we shall see. More adventures to come. We now got the Rick and Carl on the Road show for a little bit.
Yep. Some
unpleasantries coming there. So this is not a happy story.
None of it is a happy story.
You remember that really fun? No, there really wasn't a fun time.
No, none of it.
We almost had fun, but then this happened. So it's still pretty cool.
So, but yay, Carl and Rick are alive. Okay, see there, we got something.
That's right.
All right, so next episode we will do number 49. Yay.
Episode or issue?
Next episode we will do number 49. So I wasn't saying next episode was 49.
I just clarified because I believe I think it's one of the rare. Of course, last time I said, and I made it through the whole show without saying calling the issue an episode. I didn't. I didn't make it. Today I did. Right?
Okay.
I think I did.
I'm pretty sure.
I tried to not say it. That's the key.
Just try to stay away from the words issue and episode.
Just don't talk. Great point, Jeans. That's excellent. Tell me more. So, cool. All right, yes. So we'll get to 49 next, and it's been fun. And I got nothing else.
All right. Good night.
See ya.